Hi, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi everybody. My name is Santiaga Agranowitz. I'm the program specialist for special education at Downey Unified School District. And thank you for having me, Naomi.
Oh, thank you for joining me and joining our parents. Um, Now we are on our third week of remote learning with our students, and we've started meeting through this new virtual reality for us, which is online. And as we're moving forward and trying to support our students at home and our parents with remote learning, what are some of your recommendations that you have for us?
I think the most important part is for us to realize that this is going to be, at least for the next few weeks, our new normal. And even though it is so hard to understand, we are really tapping into something that maybe for many of us, I know for myself, technology has so many areas and sometimes can be very, very frustrating. So one of the things that we need to come to understand that this is not necessarily school. Parents need to give themselves a break and understand that what they are doing at home is support the learning of the students to minimize any kind of regression from the skills that they had before the school went viral or went remote. So one of the things that is important that we give ourselves a break and realize that is not in any way, shape, or form we are doing school. We just supporting the learning of our students, of our children.
Thank you. And do you have any recommendations for families there? I know that as teachers here, we are all at different stages in our discovery or working with at different levels right now to support our students. And not everybody is at the same pace. Do you have any suggestions or specific recommendations as to how to navigate this?
Well, first of all, my recommendation is to look at your home. Look at your home. Many of parents have to continue working from home. So they have all the responsibilities of themselves to be, the main providers for their family. Also, they may have multiple children that they are going to go through this remote learning also at home. So they had to divide their time and their energy between the multiple children. What we wanted to make sure is that in the moment that this the parent really is start organizing themselves to be able to provide what each child needs. And one of the things that I really recommend to the parents is to look at your environment. Look at your environment and identify an area of your home that is going to be dedicated for your child to be the learning area. We have some parents who have sent me pictures of their kids with the desk, the table, the chair, and but one of the things that we ask them to have the kid involved in that kind of adventure, like have the student or the child pick an area in their home where they wanted to do their work. Make sure that they have all the materials available. And before you even start doing the lessons of the teaching or using the materials that the teacher has sent you, is identify those areas in your home where those materials are going to be kept. Do you have the technology? Do you have the knowledge of how to use the technology? Those are things that had to be in preparation to the remote learning. Once that you have all these things in place, involve your child in creating a schedule. And the schedule is going to be really important because in there you're going to have not only the activities that your teacher is sending you, but also you have activities that you want your son or daughter to engage throughout the day. That can be going for a walk, creating some chores around the house that they will be able to support you. And use these activities as part of that schedule. For some students, we recommend to have the whole day with all the different activities, so it's predictable for them. Many of our students, many of our children, we know that much information can be very frustrating. So you just present one activity at a time. But having the schedule is something really important, not only for the child, but for you as a parent too. Is going to give you an idea how long you have to actually complete some of these tasks. And also try to schedule there all the breaks and recreational activities that you wanted to include throughout the day. our students, we have learned, Naomi, you know better than I do about our students, that they thrive in predictability. When things are not really scheduled or predictable to them is when we have a lot of our behaviors. And sometimes we don't need to do everything at once. Talk to your teacher. Don't hesitate to talk to your teacher and say, you know, I having really difficult time having my student or my child to complete all the work that you're giving me. It's okay if you don't complete it. We can start with one thing at a time. Start with something that your child likes, a puzzle, a game, something that they eventually is going to be growing into more and more activities. But I think the most important part is the communication between the teacher and the parent. And I really wanted to encourage everybody to talk to the teacher, be honest, be frank about what your limitations are, where your frustrations are, because we're in this together. If we don't work together, it's not going to be any growth. And remember, we are not trying to teach new things. We're just trying to minimize regression. So when it's time for your child to go back to school, that going back and adapting to schedules and routines is not going to be as difficult.
And when parents have a hard time doing the work or providing or modifying the work that is being sent home by a teacher, what do you recommend?
Start with the things that are easier. And so we give them not only your child, but yourself the ability to experience success. So start with things that you know that your kid can do at some level of independence, and slowly start introducing things that are more difficult. So if you just plan to complete one thing a day, and then slowly the next day is going to be two things, and slowly start increasing the number of activities, I think it's going to be very important. It's going to be materials and programs and things that they're going to be sent home that you don't understand. So talk to your teacher and see if that can be modified or changed. Because we don't want to add more frustration at the level of anxiety that we have right now. What we want, again, is to provide something for the students to be able to continue with their learning. And but at the same time, we need to know what is your situation. I mean, we don't ask you to call us and tell us your life story if you don't feel comfortable, but it's important that you talk to us and talk to your teacher and let them know what your limitations are, where your frustrations are, and if it's anything in particular that you need help, so she can or he can actually put you in contact with somebody who may be able to help you better.
I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and I really appreciate the one thing that you mentioned, which is we're in this together. So thank you for taking that time to speak to us and for being here for us and supporting us. Thank you.
Anytime, and if I can answer any questions to any of your parents or any of the parents who view this video, please don't hesitate to communicate with us. Again, my name is Santy Agranowitz, and my email is sagranowitz@DUSD. And I hope I can support you and help you. And if I don't have the answers, maybe I can find the person who may be able to answer your questions. And thank you, Naomi, for having me.
Thank you. Till next time.
Bye-bye.